Welcome to another edition, a very special edition of Very Vogue with me, Val Kleinhans. I am feeling the Texas heat, honey, because we have the ultimate serve on the show. So excited to have Chris Sapphire from the Circle here. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited to have you.
Hi, honey. I'm so thrilled. I barely made it. I said, Lord, my armpits are sweaty. I said, Jesus, be a fence. I got this fan blowing on me over here. It's the only thing that blows on me these days. Lord
Oh
have
my
mercy.
God.
That's so bad. That's so bad.
Oh, no, no, no. We knew what we were getting into. We're okay with that. Well, because I've seen you in other interviews, you're like, I've been single since I've been like, what, 14 or 15? And I was like, how? How has no man scooped up this piece of delicious? I don't understand.
I'm starting to think the Lord is really protecting me. I really
Oh,
am starting to
could
think
be.
so. Yes, because it is true. I've been single since I was 15, 16-ish, around that time. And yeah, I'm on Tinder,
Yeah.
no luck yet. And
What?
I was on Plenty of Fish, never caught one.
Mm,
And I'm out here just doing what single people do. And yes, there are some guys out there that are interested, but to be honest with you, I don't feel the magic. I want to feel that thing.
we want a quality man. We don't want any man. There's a
And
difference.
amen. And I think at this age and at where I'm at in life and the way I'm thinking and feeling and all that, I'm starting to really appreciate my journey and where I'm
Mm.
headed and what I'm doing, and I'm falling in love with my journey.
There's
That
something about, yeah, no, it makes sense. There's something about your 30s. Like I just turned 33 and I was like magic. It's like there's a switch that turns on where you just start to care a lot less and you start to prioritize your own self-care.
Yes, ma'am. That is very true. And I have been focusing a lot on my health. I so many amazing things have manifested since my time on the circle. Many dreams have come true. I got my
Yeah.
my corrective jaw surgery that I've been wanting since I was in second grade because I was born deformed a bit. I had a very crooked jaw, it caused me problems. I
Mm.
got braces. I've been really taking care of myself and becoming the best version of me, and it excites me and I feel optimistic about the future, and I'm walking into a new era of, I don't know, I could see clearly now the rain is gone.
I love it. I love all the eras, really. I loved watching you from the beginning, hanging out with you now. What made you want to be on reality TV in the first place?
I've always felt a calling in my life since I was a little kid, to be
Mm.
honest with you. I don't know what it was going to be, how I was going to do it. Even my brother used to make fun of me. He's like, how the heck are you going to be on TV and all this stuff? He would always make fun of me as a kid because I dreamt of being a pop star. And I said, watch me. And throughout my early 20s, I just kept seeing how God was moving me in my life. I started off as a makeup artist. Next, you know, somehow I'm doing internet radio for many years, interviewing celebrities and TV personalities. Then I end up landing a contract with World of Wonder to be a part of their YouTube network, and World of Wonder makes RuPaul's Drag Race. Then after that, I got scooped up by the CW network, and I was a pop culture TV personality on a nationally syndicated morning news show like Good Morning America, only for the CW. Then
Right.
after that, Alyssa Edwards comes knocking and she's like, I got my own reality show. I want you to be on it. So I did that. And then after that, the door came flying open and it was the circle calling. Now, mind you, for years I had auditioned for so many shows. I had gotten cast on other shows. I had gotten close on other shows, but I had never think of life as a roller coaster. I made it up the hill, but never went down to enjoy the ride. The
Mm.
Circle and Alyssa Edwards' show is the first time I made it over the hill and enjoyed the ride. More so the Circle because it was me on my own this time, doing my own thing to the world. And here we are today.
Oh, yes, get it. Won't he do it? I love it. I'm amazed at how quickly that all happened too. It's amazing how just doors open like that. How much about the circle did you know? Because you're on the first season. Was there any information about what you were about to get into at all?
I had been sent a tiny clip maybe a good 30-second clip if I remember correctly. And I saw it and I thought, okay, I don't know where I had heard about this, but it wasn't something that I was 100% familiar with. And so when I got the call that they needed me in Europe, because mind you, the audition process was very, very long.
Mm.
Once I was in Europe, my second week into my stay over there, that Thursday evening, my chaperone that was taking me everywhere started screaming. He was like, "You got on, you got on." And I was like, "Oh my God." He's like, "We need to get you ready." So we started picking out my outfit for the day and everything. And next, I'm walking into that apartment and boom, the rest is history. I didn't know how to play the game. Thank God there was a production person guiding me, but everything you see is absolutely real. We're playing as we go. The alerts come out when they come out. And
Mhm.
oh my gosh, none of us had any idea how big this was going to be. We came back to United States after filming it. It was the biggest secret all of us had. And January 2020, January 1st, that New Year's Day, it debuted. And my God, I can't even tell you what it feels like to have every social media platform explode on you overnight.
Ooh,
Oh my, when we woke up and all of us had been verified, we were like, dude, the show is becoming a reality. Like we
yeah.
went on a show, we're trying to become these influencers on the show, and now in the real world, it manifested somehow. And everybody on my season to this day, everybody's doing amazing. Sammy,
Yeah.
Joey, Shuby, it's just been such a blessing for everybody and for all the new seasons too, because the monster keeps growing and growing and growing. We're on season 5 now, and I'm talking to the new cast, and they're so excited. I'm like, baby, y'all need to save for your taxes, okay? Save taxes money.
That's he's like, that from myself. That advice from me, because these taxes don't play.
Oh, they
Oh,
don't play, and Uncle Sam comes to knock in, and I tell them if y'all need any other advice, y'all feel free to hit me up whenever. I'm here for all of y'all, and I'm so thankful that we all genuinely get along. All of us. It's
mm,
not fake. We're not all like, hey, girl. Like it's genuinely we all get along and we chat periodically on the internet, and it's just been a gift that keeps on giving.
beautiful. So we have our Julia Roberts pretty moment. How did you end up getting casted? So did you find out about the audition? You show up. What's the process like?
But the process was one of the longest auditions I've ever done. So Alyssa Edwards called me about the show. She's like, they're gonna call you in 20 minutes. I'm like, who? She's like, it's a producer looking for people for a new show called The Circle. She's like, I've told them about you. Take the call. I took the call and
Okay.
we hit it off. And he's like, Chris, you sound just like Alyssa describes you. I want you to go home and fill out this application online, and you'll hear from me soon. So I did that. And then the phone kept ringing. Chris, we're coming to Dallas, Texas, where you live. We want to meet you in person on this day. Are you available? Yes, I am. Show up to that. It was longer than an hour interview. I show up to this room at a beautiful hotel, cameras and lights set up. I'm sitting there like I'm going to be interviewed by Barbara Walters or somebody. And it was so much fun. I'm just in there doing what with me, and we'll let you know if you move forward. Blah blah blah. And I had already been used to these processes, so I was like, God, it's in your hands. Whatevs. I ain't even gonna stress. The phone rings a few weeks after that. We need you in Los Angeles on this day. Okay, well here I go to
Ooh.
LA, and I was in LA for a few days to audition, and whew, honey. Then after that, I fly back to Dallas and I don't hear anything
Mm.
until one night randomly the phone rings. Chris, yes, pack your shit. We need you in France. All righty. Well, honey, here we go. I packed my shit up. Europe, here I come. Now, let me give you a little quick backstory.
Mm.
Every now and then in my life, I get a feeling, this very strong feeling that something big is about to happen. And in 2019, because we filmed my season that summer
Mhm.
of 2019, that early January, February, around that time, I told my mom, I need a passport. She goes, why? I said, I feel like God is going to take me around the world this year. I just feel it. Unbeknownst to me,
Wow.
later on that year, here now they need me in France. And that passport came in handy. And I said, I told you, mom, something big was coming. And I mean, and I've been telling everybody, and it's so weird that we're doing this interview because lately I've been getting all these interviews back to back to back out of nowhere. And I keep telling everybody something big is coming. I feel it. Something is cooking. I don't know what. So I'm very happy to be on your show.
Yeah, no, I think so too. We want nothing but the best. So because you were kept in your apartment for the show for an extended period of time, and then it airs during the beginning of the pandemic, during the beginning of quarantine, did it kind of prepare you for what ended up happening later?
It kind of did. I mean, I was like, well, I already spent all this time in an apartment. Now we just got to do it in real life. But it was such a secret blessing. Oh
Mm,
my God. Our show debuts, it exploded. And then the pandemic hits right after it. So it really then exploded. And
mm.
unbeknownst to us at that time, because of some legalities, the show, even though it was airing all over the world, it was not airing in the United Kingdom yet because of some legal things with Netflix.
Huh. Okay.
Well, honey, the end of the pandemic, that first year of the pandemic is coming to a close. We're now going into 2021. And now that legal hurdle has been jumped over and it debuts in the UK, giving us life number 3. So this
Wow.
season of mine had 3 lives and it blew up in the UK because the circle actually came from the UK. So it was already known over there. And they were so excited to see the Americans play it for the first time. And next thing you know, we're seeing it's top 10 in England, top 10 in Ireland, top 10 in Wales. Oh my God. And then the 4th life happens when season 2 debuted. Everybody went back to season 1 for nostalgia.
Right.
I'm What a gift. What a gift.
Beautiful. Do you ever get used to being watched on camera 24 hours a day?
It felt weird at first. And then it
Yeah.
was like nothing. It was like nothing. You see them moving as you walk around the apartment. They're following you. You see the camera moving. And it's just like, honey, let's do it. Let's do it.
We're here, we're ready. Okay.
We're
What is your
here.
favorite memory from the show, just in general?
I'll never forget, my goodness, cooking, making my own food, how funny it was going to the restroom. That's the only time they'd move the cameras and mute the microphones because they weren't trying to hear all that mess.
That was the only time they sent a damn alert through too. It was like,
Oh, and I said, y'all better not. Y'all better not. I'll never forget how it was time to go to sleep after the whole game was done for the day. And we're all like, good night, circle. See, that's real. We actually do that. The lights go down. I fell asleep. And then I opened my eyes and the lights are on. The sun is outside the window. I said, what in the fuck? When did we go to sleep? And why does it feel like I just fell asleep like 2 hours ago and now I'm awake again? They would never tell me what time it was.
oh, wow.
They
Why do
never
you
told me
think,
what time it was.
why not? Any reason?
I guess they want our whole mind in this game. Silly me, I had no watch on me. And of course, they take our phones away because we're here to film and they don't want anybody
Mhm.
leaking anything. But I never knew what time it was, which was what made it a little more mysterious. Some days I'd be a little more tired and I'm like, man, it feels like a long day. And you see the sun setting outside and more alerts are coming on. And we're like, man, we're still going at this.
That sounds like being in Vegas eternally, forever. Like you just never know what time it is.
Oh, it was phenomenal though. I don't think I ever complained about it. I was there with a mission to get out of the situation I was in my life, a mission to help my mom out. Oh,
Mhm.
there was no turning back. And I had prayed so hard and I was like, God, I know this is you. So I'm very easy to work with. Girl, I hardly complain about anything. And mind you, our season, we didn't have air conditioning in the studios because it's very
No.
cold. Oh, honey,
Oh.
yes, it's very cold in the UK. And fun fact, when we started filming, a heat wave came through. So when you watch season 1 and you see all those Dyson fans everywhere, it's because we were in there. We were in there, honey.
Was that the hardest part of being on the show, the temperature? Or were there other parts that were difficult?
I think that was maybe a small hurdle, but we're so filled with adrenaline and excitement that we're just going with the flow. But like I said before this interview, I'm sorry if you could hear my fan. I always need air on me. So for me, that I wear so much makeup and hairspray and I love makeup so much, it was a miracle that when it aired, I wasn't melting.
Mm, what? That's good. I want to know what products you're using if it's not melting. I've been into Rare Beauty lately, personally. I love Rare Beauty.
Oh, yes, honey. Makeup and all that is so much fun. And I'm so thankful that I carry my whole caboodle wherever I go because I would always be powdering up and stuff. And yeah, that was just maybe one of the little hard parts of it. But other than that, I tell all the new kids that are on all the new seasons, I'm like, girl, y'all are so blessed. I don't see not one droplet of sweat on none of y'all's noses. Not one droplet.
I don't see no sweaty armpits because we saw a couple sweaty armpits. Yours were not, but we saw a few others.
All those blazers I wear and stuff probably hit it really well.
Maybe. I like the leopard one. That was my favorite one from
Which
your
one?
closet. The leopard blazer.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I still have her in my closet, and I feel like the ones that I wore on that season, I probably will never get rid of. I'll probably cherish
No,
them forever because of the sentiment and all that.
absolutely. Well, so do you think that maybe the show was edited in a way that casted you guys as particular characters? Like one person's the villain, one person's this character, one person's that character. Or do you feel like the circle did a really good job letting you guys be you?
I think they did a great job letting us just fly because when I'm with Joey, that is Joey.
That
He
is,
is
he's my paisan. I love him so much. Like I'm Italian American too. So I was like, yes.
so you already know, honey, how the
Yeah.
culture is.
Yeah.
I had the pleasure of going to LA. I think this was in 2021 because Netflix had called me and Joey and all of us back to do some stuff for them. And I stayed with him for a week. I had so much fun with Joey Sasso. We really got to know each other. We hadn't seen each other since the show aired because of the pandemic. So it was a reunion, seeing him and Miranda and Sammy. Oh, we had so much fun together. And I hope to see him here soon. He is just the way you see him on TV. Sammy is just as fun and down to earth. And I love her little
I listen, I was saying the same thing when she was like giving her little throw up moments. I was like, that grossed me out too. The flirting
oh, I
or the little, I'm like, this is too much. We need to take it. You are at a 50. We need you at like a 3.
she's just she's just so much. And Miranda, I have fallen in love with Miranda. She's the one
Mhm.
who Joey and them kissed in the room and
Right,
everybody's
right.
screaming. Oh, I love her so much. I'm actually, God willing, flying to LA here soon for the Netflix season 5 wrap party, and I can't wait to meet all the new kids. And I just
Fun.
can't wait to see Miranda and everybody again. Every year after each season ends, they do a massive wrap party, and we all get invited to come back and mingle and have fun. And it's just so cool. And when I'm there, it feels so surreal. I'm looking at everybody and how the new kids approach us because we were season 1. It's just so out of body. Even to this day, when I'm at the airport, the stores, the clubs, and people come up wanting to say hi and take pictures, I'm just like, wow, what happened?
Like, I want to see me. You want to see little me? Yeah, that would freak me out too. I'd be like, how do you even know who I am?
Oh, and what was really weird between you and I was during the pandemic when I'd be out at the store with a mask, no makeup on, my hair was not even
They
done.
still knew?
Yes. And I even asked them, how in the world? They're like, what? We heard your voice and we recognized your body shape. And I was like, my God, people really like take it all in.
Wow. What do you think the show helped you learn about yourself?
I think it helped me learn to really trust my spirituality more than I already did at that moment.
Mm,
It really was an affirmation that what I believe in is listening and working in my life. It's really there. And it boosts my Godfidence.
there we
Because,
go.
I always tell people, I go, my confidence comes from my faith in God. He's the perfection. He's everything, the source of all that we have, talent, everything that we do in this world. He's channeling himself through us. And it allowed me to trust him more.
Mm,
And that that spiritual step excites me. for
Yeah,
whatever's to come down the road. I'm like, all right, God, well, if we could do that and that's global, we can do anything,
we
anything,
can. Absolutely.
anything.
Where did that faith come from? How did that develop?
It was a long journey. To make a long story short, I was 14 years old and my scholastic life was incredible. But getting to high school, getting to middle school, I was bullied very severely by grown adults on the train, on the buses,
Oh,
because of how I looked. And
mm,
at a young age like that, you don't know much about anxiety, depression, and spiraling intrusive thoughts and things of that nature. And I think it was late into my 14th year or mid 14, I thought about ending my life. So I
mm,
came home with that darkness in my spirit after taking so much beating.
right.
And there was a book on my bed that introduced me to God. Now, mind you, I was raised Catholic, but we don't listen when we're kids at church. That, you
No.
want to go home and play Nintendo. So in that moment, that book, when I opened it, it told me and it spoke to me like only God could do it. And it saved my life. And I started practicing it and testing it. And I saw it changing everything around me, the way I felt inside and the way people were towards me in the outside world. And it has taken me this far. And I'm so thrilled that God works in mysterious ways, because being on the circle, I got messages from all parts of the world, including places where people get executed for being gay.
Yeah.
And people found hope and a window of light through my experience being on that show. They're like, how are you gay? You believe in God? I tell people all our lives, we've been preached God by politically motivated individuals or straight people.
Mm,
It is the rarest thing that you hear from a gay person, their encounter with God and how he is in their life, and then let them preach to you from that angle, from that perspective. And
mhm.
so I told them, be strong. And I always give them a nice quote that I love from Romans. It says, nothing in all of creation can separate you from the love of God. And I go, so if nothing can separate you from the love of God, then these preachers saying that you are separated from him or that God hates you, that's a
Yeah.
lie, because it's contradicting exactly what it's teaching.
Yeah.
So I say, you stick to God. I said, look at me, flaming hot as flaming hot can be, flaming hot Cheeto, flaming hot pink, gay as shit. And the good Lord has blessed me, is working through me. And I hope that through me, he reaches all those people that have been pushed away by the church. And I'll say this real quickly. Anything that takes God away from you is anti-Christ like.
Mm,
So while these people are trying to bring people to Christ, they're pushing others away. That's not Christ like. That's anti-Christ like. And now you have kids out here killing themselves, hurting themselves in darkness and depression, when the Lord is supposed to be light. And we're all supposed to be examples of him in this world. So how is that spreading the light? And now you're making somebody fall into darkness. So,
yeah.
you know, all that I could talk about for hours, but I just hope that as I move on through this world, that I will be a great example of grace and God's love for all of us, because of he so loved the world while we're still sinners. Imagine how much he loves us now that he's atoned for all of it.
Yeah.
Hello, you know, and
Hmm.
all, that's it.
That was something I always questioned too, because I was brought up in a Bible church when I was a lot younger, and I went to those typical Bible camps that are very like fire and brimstone. But I don't think my mom knew it was fire and brimstone, because if she
Oh,
did, she probably wouldn't have sent me there. But it ended up being there, and I always questioned, why is a grown man screaming at 12-year-olds and 13-year-olds, telling them that they're these horrible people that need to repent? Like, where do you get off on that? And why am I, as a 15-year-old, looking at this adult questioning him? I'm like,
I totally
what?
understand. I totally understand. And it's so anti what it all is being taught. When you read the Bible for yourself and you learn and you see the context of these things, you see how much they've taken out to how many scriptures they've taken out to justify hatred towards other people. But if we
Right.
take it upon ourselves and do the homework and we read those verses and what comes before them and after them, we see that they've been using those wrongly, and How can there be fire and brimstone? For the Lord told us that even if we believe in him, the size of a mustard seed, we can move mountains. Faith, the size of a mustard seed, and faith is the key to salvation. It is a gift from him. How could there be fire and brimstone for us if we're no longer under condemnation? You see what I'm saying?
It doesn't
It's
make
so
any sense.
weird. I
No, it
know,
doesn't.
but honey, but that's why we're all waking up. We're all
Well,
waking up.
we are, thankfully. I'm glad that we're starting to ask these kinds of questions.
Yes.
So on to the 90s, because I know you're a 90s kid like me. The Spice Girls coming in season 4. Come on, how sad were you to have missed that? I'm sure you would have loved that.
The Circle apartments are completely soundproof, but I swear
Mm,
to you, if I would have been up in that fucking building
you would have
when the
known.
Spice Girls were in there, y'all would have heard me through the soundproof. I am to this day obsessed with the Spice Girls. And
Always.
Mel B is actually my favorite Spice Girl, Scary Spice. And many
Okay.
years ago, I was in LA at a Mexican restaurant and I saw her there.
Oh,
But she was with her then husband. There was kind of an energy going on where he looked protective of her, where I was kind of like, I don't know
okay.
if I should go say hi. And so for her to now pop up on this franchise that I'm a part of, I was like, fuck, fuck. So close, but yet so far for now.
For now. No, you know what? I think someday you'll probably cross paths with her again. I can feel it.
Oh,
I can see it. It's gonna happen. I was always a sporty girl. Like, remember at sleepovers, everybody was like assigned a spice and you would reenact the videos. I always got sporty, so she was always my girl.
oh, I love Sporty Spice too. She sang her ass off. She is the voice. I mean, they're so iconic. All of the people of the 90s are iconic. Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, Pink, Christina,
Mm,
Britney, all of them people. I
mm.
jam to that music to this day as if it's still right now,
Oh, me
happening
too.
right now.
It's
Love.
like nothing. It's like no time has passed. I was reading that Chili and Matthew Lawrence are now together too, and I was like,
I heard. I heard.
I was like, find me another pair. Find me another pair that is more 90s. You can't do it. You can't.
And you know, speaking of the 90s, a few months ago, I went to the Backstreet Boys concert and I had a freaking blast.
I
And
bet.
to dude, to see how freaking sold out the arena was, I said, look at this. Look
Hmm.
at the magic. They're still here.
Do you think that Chili and Matthew Lawrence make sense as a couple? Because I kind of do.
I follow Chili on Instagram. I love that she's very spiritual. I don't know much about Matthew Lawrence, but I trust your judgment. I trust your
Yeah.
judgment. If you think they work, honey, they're gonna work.
Or maybe it just made my little 90s heart happy and I'm just biased, but
Oh,
I'm
I'm
here
right
for
there
it.
with
I'll watch
you.
it.
I'm so right there with you. I heard that Titanic is coming out for the 25th anniversary in
Oh, yeah.
4K. And so I said, oh, we're going to the movies to watch Titanic again.
I can't wait to see all like the daytime talk shows with the recaps of some of this stuff too. I always wondered why not a gay reel or a gay like Good Morning America type version or a gay The View. I don't know why there isn't one yet because I would watch the shit out of that. I'm not even gay. I would watch it.
You would never believe it. I was on Oliver Twix's show. He's part of season 5's cast this year. And we brought that up. I told him, I was like, Oliver, I feel like you and I are going to work together somewhere down the road. And I said, and I feel like there needs to be a gay view or a gay the real. And I feel like you and we need to be on that fucking panel some way, somehow. And so it's funny you bring that up because there has to be. And I would do whatever I can in my power to call whoever's in charge of that shit, be like, you better give me a fucking seat on this damn panel.
I want to see it. I would watch that. I will advocate for that. I don't understand why it hasn't been done already because to me, the best gossip, the best tea has always come from a gay person in my life. Every time.
Oh, God
Every
bless you.
time.
I tell you, yeah, we love a good hot, big old cup of juice. And it's funny, before I was on the circle, I was doing a podcast with 2 of my good friends, one of my best friends and a really good friend of mine. And we called it the gag because, the gays are
Mm,
like, girl, I'm gagging. And
mm.
it was me trying to manifest that gay view, that gay, the real. So it's in the air. We're throwing it out there. It's happening. It's going to happen one day.
Manifest. How
Amen.
what Was it nostalgic for you to see Shuby?
All of them. I'm happy for all of them because I feel like we're all Power Rangers and we're all in this together. And seeing one of them win, we're all winning. I know everybody says that and it's cheese ball, Louise ball, but honestly, it's true. And I love them. I love to see everybody doing good because I can I can stare at all of them and know that their journeys have been just as hard as mine. And these are miracles unfolding. So I'm like, honey, God, keep doing your thing, keep going.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, what is next for you? What can we look forward to?
Well, that's the exciting thing right now. Right now, my agent called me with some really great news that we're praying to God manifests. And I always try not to say what because I don't want to get people excited and then who
Mm,
knows. But
mhm.
it's sounding to be a very optimistic year. My braces finally came off. I went and saw my jaw surgeon yesterday, and he told me that the bone has grown back from my corrective jaw surgery.
Oh,
And I have hopefully one more procedure coming up. I'm trying to get all my health stuff out of the way for whatever's coming so that I'm my healthiest, best version of me possible. But things are looking up. I'm going to go to LA to go mingle with everybody. And honey, we'll see what happens. But like I told you, I have that feeling something big is coming. Something big is coming.
ready for it. Thank you so much for your time, Chris. Thank you for kicking in with me a little bit here.
Thank you for having me and to everybody watching or listening. I send you so many hugs and all my blessings. And honey, stay tuned. And remember, never lose the faith, okay? Many blessings.